Hi folks, Chris here of Strata Art Studios. Today's video is about carving a ring in wax. It's not necessarily a how-to video, but more just to give you some information about things that I've discovered over the years. I have found that no matter what style of ring you're planning on making, whether it's uh, ultimately going to be something that's organic or very structured, it's always best to try to keep things as square as possible in the beginning. By that, I mean both sides of a ring being square to each other. When you ream out or cut out the interior of a ring, making sure that it's square to the sides. Trying to make sure that the thickness of the band that you're making is consistent. Also, when you're marking center lines and other indicators for when you're trying to draw in pattern, all of this helps you in the end to keep things as accurate and clean flowing as possible. As seen right here, the jaws of your calipers are actually parallel to one another. So this allows you to make sure that the sides of your band are parallel as well. By rotating it slightly, you can find where the thickest side is and then simply remove that material until you have your band square. Here is another trick that I use when I'm working on rings that are going to have a repeat pattern. First, you wrap your wax ring blank in masking tape and then cut through the tape to create two clean ends. You can now peel the tape back off of the wax, lay it down on something that is flat, and then using your calipers or a ruler, get an accurate measurement from the tape of what the circumference of your wax is. Once you have that measurement, you can easily divide it by the number of segments that you want on your ring blank and simply measure and mark them on the tape. Now you reapply the tape to your wax model. Make sure that it's square and smooth and everything lines up. Once you've got that done, take a scalpel or some other sharp implement and you can cut through the tape, scribing into the wax the equal segments that you're going to need when you go to lay out patterns. Here's another little trick that I've picked up for carving wax rings. Anyone who's ever done it knows that the more that you carve, the more time you spend, the more fragile the waxes get. And thus, you really want your waxes supported. So for a wax ring, I've found that the simple use of a piece of doweling and building up a sort of multi-layer around the doweling with masking tape to the internal circumference of the size of the ring that you're doing, as long as it's on and is friction fit and doesn't rotate, gives you the stability and the ability to have something to hang on to while you're working. You want just enough tape so that when you put the wax on this handle, that there's just enough friction to keep it from rotating as you're carving and working. If you put too much on and jam the wax on, you have more possibilities of breaking it when you're trying to pull it off, or that internal force is enough to snap things when you get things down thin. I tend to freehand most of my pattern work simply by scratching into the surface of my wax blank. I do most of my carving with that same fine pick, but that being said, if you need flat planes cut, simply switch to a knife or some other flat tool. There's lots of wax carving tools on the market, but you can easily make them yourselves using nails, bicycle spokes, anything at all. Here's the finished wax. Here's the finished ring cast and finished up. I really hope that you found this video interesting, that you got something out of it. If you have any questions or comments at all, please feel free to leave them and I will answer them. Thank you so much. Bye for now. More videos to come.